Welcome back to another episode of On the Course With, and today we're joined by Hollywood actor, a writer and producer, the Northern Irish living legend, Jamie Dornan. That sounded great. Some hang time on that.
Just caught up in the...
Yeah, no, it was a good ball. Right.
Yeah, lovely.
Whoa, bottom groove, that will chase on these fairways.
Right down the
I'll
middle.
take
Yeah,
that.
lovely shot.
Right. Well, Jamie, we've got a beautiful day for it.
We do.
Day to day, what does it look like for you? You're picking up the kids later today?
I am picking up the kids, yeah. They're off school at the moment, so our youngest is spending the day with Granny. I'm going to pick her up after this. Yeah, look, if I'm not filming, then I want to be doing all the drop-offs and pick up at school. I love that. Actually, my favorite part of this is picking up the kids from school. If they come out and they're smiling and you know they've had a good day, then it just makes our lives so much easier. And then I'll try to... I've got a nice situation where I can drop the kids off, go and play 18 holes, have a bit of lunch, and pick the kids up. It doesn't suit my wife that well, but at least, I'm getting to, be with the kids when I can.
Absolutely. But how did it all begin for you? Because I think you were about 10 years old when you kind of experienced performing in front of a live audience and really kind of engaged with the thrill of that. But modelling was your first gig, wasn't it, before everything?
That was not on the cards or wasn't something I planned to do. I still sort of can't believe that I did do that, if you know what I mean, or that happened, or I had a career in that space and still do to an extent with some of the stuff I still do. But I don't know, life works in weird ways. You fall into these things, and certainly wasn't on my radar as a kid to want to have my picture taken for a living, or to be an actor even, to be honest. As a kid, I'd done drama at school, I'd done a bit of youth theatre outside of school, but I wasn't like the theatre kid, by any stretch. Found my way into it in some way or another, and it's been good to me, and I love it now.
How does that work? Do you just look in the mirror and go, I look great, I should be a model? Or I'm just
Jesus
a really
Christ,
good liar, so I'm going to be an actor?
No, well, maybe.
How do you get into all of it?
I think you have to be convinced by other people.
Right.
Well, certainly I did. I'm
Calvin Klein billboard.
But even now, I think I can't believe I did any of that and did so much of it as well for such a long time. Again, I feel kind of removed from that in so many ways now. I don't know. Yeah, it takes other people saying that's what you should do or you could do that, and then you go, all right, maybe. Rather than having a more traditional kind of life, which I thought I was more set up for. I thought I'd have a normal job and whatever, just follow everyone else. But then there's other plans. I don't know. That's
so interesting, because a lot of things people do and spend time doing is they talk about the importance of self-belief.
Yes.
So it's interesting how yours kind of happened the other way around first.
I'd say a lot of actors don't have a great deal of self-belief. No. And that's why they need validation a lot of the time. They need people telling them that their work is good and stuff, and they seek all that attention. And because I think you're riddled with self-doubt, a lot of actors, and that's why you spend your life pretending to be other people.
That's really interesting. I want to tap into that a bit more, but your ball's there.
Yes,
and I'm about 20 yards ahead of you, so I'm just going to go this way.
I think you hit a
few sprinkler heads along the way?
Something really hard there, yeah. Don't know what
happened.
You
just landed a marshmallow. Got it.
Yeah, mine was a forward, just a reminder of that.
I bottomed my driver. We've got 125.
Oh, okay.
I reckon it's playing about 119, to be honest.
I was gonna say,
So I quite liked how you eyed that.
Yeah, you like it?
I think we're getting a bit of release. It's spring. It's officially spring.
Yeah, no, sure, we can land it a wee bit early, huh?
Yeah. So what sort of club is that for you then?
That's it. I've got a 50.
Okay. That looks like quite a jumpy lie as well, so it's got your name written all over it.
I don't know. You've now got me doubting it should be a 54, but...
You're not an actor right now, you're a golfer.
No, that's
We have self-belief here.
That's it.
Beautiful strike. That was seriously good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Thanks.
Great shot.
Thank you.
So how does that work then? So you tap into an industry, generically not an awful lot of self-belief.
Yeah.
How do you find your identity in that career path when your job is literally to play different characters?
I think you I think once you do it and it starts going quite well, and you get kind of the right kind of signals back or the right energy back, then you probably do garner some kind of self-belief. But I'm still riddled with doubt. Like I'm about to start a job, and I will have taken, purposely, because I'm in a lucky position and I want to spend time with my kids, and I can sort of pick and choose what I do. But I will have had 7 months off, and because I haven't sort of acted haven't done my job for 7 months. I'm terrified of this job, even though I'm a lead in it, I'm a producer on it, and all this great stuff. But I'm riddled with anxiety about. But I know then I'll get on set and I'll be fine because it's my job and I'll be fine. But until I'm actually on set in costume, hair, makeup, and I'm in it, I will be doubting myself.
I think that's really important, because even the best athletes or actors, entertainers in the world, I can relate from a golfer's perspective. They always say standing on that first tee shot, they're nervous.
Sure.
But they have to be. It just shows that they care, right?
Sure, Rory admitted he was nervous for the players' playoff coming back on the Monday. He was really nervous, and then absolutely bombed it down. Was it 16? They did 16,
so
17, 18.
You and McElroy, you're just same people, yeah?
Well, we're from the same town, so
exactly.
That's where it ends. So.
Right, I have got 102 yards.
Strike.
You make a great caddy, Jamie.
Look at that.
I think that's good.
Sit now. Perfect. Great shot.
Come on.
Really good shot.
Thank you.
Love it.
So, golf and life.
Yeah.
I've always personally felt as though they marry up very well. Comparison perspective, obviously golf does play a relatively significant part in your life.
Yeah.
Have you been able to kind of associate or compare or learn from whether it's your golf and life or maybe your career, where you can really embrace those kind of similarities?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, golf is such a great leveler, as a game, and it's obviously such a humbling sport, and it's a great, there's a lot of great parallels to not even career, but life generally, just literally, the cliches, but the ups and downs of it. And, you can think that everything's going really well. You get 3 holes in a row where you feel like a pro and you're just bombing it down, and then you leak one right, and then you lose sense of your swing and you don't have confidence, you don't swing properly. And life's a bit like that too, I guess if you're comparing it to career-wise, you can have a couple of movies or TV shows in a row that like pop and get people talking and get really well reviewed. You get nominated for this, nominated for all that stuff. And then you have something that comes out that people don't like, it gets reviewed badly, doesn't make a lot of money, whatever it is, and you're knocked straight back off your perch again, But again, I think that's healthy, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think you learn much more from that sort of inconsistency of sort of success or failure or whatever than you would from just constant failure or constant success.
And what is that like? Because, a golfer, for instance, they can put so many hours and time into perfecting their skill and, on a big stage, once you have that level of expectancy and you don't meet those demands almost, it can be quite soul destroying. But musicians talk about, they work on an album for a year sort of thing, and then they're worried about how they're gonna, their audience and fans are gonna take it. How does that work from an acting perspective?
I don't know. I just think if you just consider it, you almost, it's like they say about golf as well, you take one hole at a time, one tournament at a time, whatever, but you do just go, if you're lucky enough to keep getting opportunities to prove yourself or whatever, or to make something that seems meaningful or worthy or whatever, then you do that. You just focus on that, and if it's received, like often for me, it's about the experience. I want the experience to be great. I want to work with these like really talented, creative, cool, interesting people, and the day to day, they're long days. We get up and we spend all this really intense time together, often in location in these mad places in the middle of nowhere, or stuck in a studio together, and it's all too hot and everyone's drinking 15 cups of tea a day, but there's something that happens there. It's a really beautiful, very quick, sped up bond that with these people, and for me it's about that. And you're all there and you're working as hard as you can to produce the best version of what it is you're trying to do, and whatever comes after that, it's out of your hands. Some great films go by the wayside and no one talks about them. Some great performances, I'm not talking about me here, just generally, that don't get talked about, and then you'll get something that's for some reason gets a load of hype behind it, and sometimes rightly, but sometimes the wrong stuff gets hyped, and for the wrong reasons. So you've just got to enjoy the actual process of making it, and then whatever happens after, if it's positive, it's a bonus.
For sure. And you've worked with some amazing people, but we'll get onto that
like
because we've got a few birdie putts coming up.
Okay.
That's got great speed. Come on.
Oh!
Come on! What a start! Boom!
Thanks.
Oh, no. Oh, it's terrible. Thanks. Thanks. Now that's an entrance and a half. Please, please.
No. Oh!
That would have been all right, wouldn't it?
Unlucky. It was a good effort.
Right, one to you.
Okay.
I'll take a 4.
Great.
I mean, superb caddying, by the way.
Yeah,
that was good. That was good.
All right. Not a cloud in the sky.
Do you know what? That's really unhelpful. I always like to look up at the clouds and see which way they're moving
Yes, yeah.
to identify which way the
hear
wind is. But either way, you're going to flush it down the middle. Ah, flushed it. What a shot. I think you might outdrive my driver here. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went well.
Great ball.
Thanks. Shot. Lovely.
So home, it's a relatively small part of the world,
Yes.
but it's produced some big names.
It has, yeah.
What is so special about Northern Ireland, Belfast, and home?
I don't know. I mean, I get emotional talking about home. I always get emotional talking about home. And I always call it home. I haven't lived in Northern Ireland now for 23 years plus. But it's still home. I still say I'm coming home in a couple of weeks, and that means I'm going over there. It's a great environment. Like, it's had obviously very well documented issues as a part of the world and civil conflict and everything, but they're great people. You're surrounded by really brilliant people wherever you are at home, and you feed off that. And there's a lot of opportunity there. Considering how bleak it was, there's still a lot of opportunity in the world of sport at golf, and golf's accessible. You don't have to be some like rich kid to play golf. There's a lot of open doors for you, which isn't the case in a lot of different parts of the world. And I think there's a support network, and there's you're inspired by the people that have come before you, and in my game you've Liam Neeson and Kieran Hines and Jimmy Nesbitt and all these people who are doing it, who are making it happen. And I think that's been really inspiring for people my generation, and the young guys now coming through, like Anthony Boyle and stuff, who's in Say Nothing, and he's a brilliant young actor, and Lola Pettigrew, all these great young actors from Belfast who are coming through now because they've seen that you can do it, and the golf thing, I mean, it's been unbelievable, like, but it took a while. But you know what I mean? I mean by, like, you're inspired, it took been a long time since Irish major winners, whatever, and then Harrington knocks off 3 in a couple of years, and then that influences Graham McDowell, and then Darren the next year, and then Rory for 4 of them in 3. And you inspire each other, you lift each other up, and I think north of Ireland, all of Ireland, like it's a supportive place. We're supportive of our own, until we're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a supportive environment.
The environment is such an important thing, but as a kid, did you have big dreams? Was it easy for you to dream? I'm not sure what my dreams would have been like I don't even know what they would have been. They were doing sport related probably, but sure. I wasn't good enough at any sport to have excelled playing really. But like I was, obsessed with sport and played a lot of sport at a good level, but I was never going to make a career out of sport. But I thought I'd work within sport in some way. I thought I'd sort of work behind the scenes in sport, something like that. I would have loved to have done that. No, I think I always had some sort of sense of ambition. I've always felt like I've wanted to make something of myself, but I wouldn't know what to call that or name that or anything. And but I've always had that in there. Didn't really show it maybe early on. I didn't work hard enough for it maybe, but over time I realised that you do need to put the work in, but Absolutely. It took me a while to get there. And a lot of that's self-taught. So
I think it's circumstantial. I lost my mum when I was young, and then I lost 4 of my best mates a year later in a car crash. So I had a lot of, like, I know this is get all deep here, but that was a very changed me in a lot of ways, and it's, for whatever reason, lit some sort of fire under me to be like, I feel I've really lived my life with a point to prove, and a bit of a fire under my belly, and so yeah, I think that probably is a result of loss and grief that I went through as a kid, that has in some ways served how I am now as an adult, you know.
I think it's so amazing how you bounce back from those sort of events, and you know, I always feel it can go one or another way, sort of thing, and that's where the environment that you talked about and the atmosphere plays such a massive part, not just in your personal life but also your professional career, making sure you work with the right people and have that setting to, you know,
thrive,
hold you up.
But
I reckon you can take on this par 5 and 2, Jamie.
I think I have to. I mean, what have we got, an 8 iron in? What's it?
I'm your caddy as well, aren't I?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Sorry,
right,
don't forget that
let's
roll.
See how far you've got. 180 yards. If I'm really doing this caddying roll, we've
playing
got
195 or something, probably.
Yeah, it's kind
200. Is it? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's freshly cut grass. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
That
was a proper strike, but
picked it. It's good at that other flag.
That's left edge of the green. That's fine.
Is it?
It's got 2 putt all
chipping
over
a putt?
it. Yeah.
Or chipping 3 putts?
I'm back there. You outdriven me again.
Oh, yeah,
you need to stop that. Oh, go.
Go.
That is so short.
Is it?
That is
catch
so,
a piece. Get up, get up. Oh, it
so
is short. No, it is short. Well, we're both chipping.
Nearly heading to the beach over there. It's pretty insane when you think about how fast time has travelled, I guess, to a certain degree, and your first major breakthrough as a series of 4, and obviously Belfast was a big deal as well, and you know, even just being in that calibre of working alongside some incredible people, that must have been a pinch me moment, no?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's sort of the whole career. It sometimes feels like a pinch me moment, you know. As I said, I'm not one of those kids who grew up looking for this or trying to really seek this out, I guess. It sort of came to me in some roundabout way. But listen, if you're doing a movie where Judi Dench is playing your mum and Kieran Hines is playing your dad, you've done a couple of things well. I think, you know, you've done all right with Kenneth Branagh directing. It was, you know, Belfast was a mad experience. The Fall was an incredible experience. I've said this many times, but it literally changed my life overnight. And you know, it's the first time I'd been the lead in anything, first time I'd worked with the BBC, who I've now a pretty long and storied relationship with, and I'm proud of that. And you know, so it's it's been a fun ride, and you know, I still really enjoy it, you know, as much as I did before. But I'm producing stuff more now. I've been writing a bit, and we're making a film that I co-wrote with my mate at the end of this year, and you know, so there's other avenues within the industry that I'm really interested in these days as well, which have been presented to me through whatever position I find myself in. So it's nice, actually.
Well, you're obviously one of those really annoying people that's just kind of talented at everything, right? So great at sports,
No.
you know, modelling, acting, nominations, awards. I mean, what is the dream?
Retire at 54.
How do you now?
I'm soon to be 43.
Okay, we've got a bit of time.
But 12 years left in me. No, I do genuinely want to slow down from acting work within that time, or towards the end of that time. I want to be producing more stuff. I'm not saying I'll not act again. I will, but I don't want to be got off to places for sort of 6 months and away. You know, I'd like to think I'd be okay, and I will have allowed myself enough freedom to. I want to play a lot of golf.
Yeah.
I'm really honest with you.
That's what you're really trying to say.
I do, and I want to be around with, you know, and you know, my kids. That, you know, our youngest is only 6, and you know, I want to be around for them as they enter their early years of adulthood, and but I also want to, truthfully, I want to be playing a lot of golf.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to play golf.
Blame you.
I want to slow down in my career when my body still works. You know, I have no interest in that thing of like working to 70 and then go, right now, time to play golf. I'm at 70. Like, you know, I know you can still get it around at 70, but like, I'd rather be doing it in my mid-50s where I still feel like I've got something.
I mean,
you know?
I've only just met you today, but what I'm getting from this is, you know, you're the kind of guy who's pretty good at staying in the present moment. But you know, you can have a plan.
Yeah.
But the thing is, once you have a plan, things often don't go to plan. So, you know, I asked you about your future there, but it's nice to know that you're this present guy and you focus on that sort of moment. And it's obviously, you've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, but like there's all these mitigating factors that can change everything that I could put in the rough plan. Do you know what I mean? So I do think you just sort of have to take it as it comes. And so far that's been good to me. And, you know.
You want to play some more golf so you can make you up and down.
Am I in this bunker?
I'm not sure. Good luck finding that one. I'm going this way, you're going that way. See you later. See you on the green. Oh, whoops. Spin. Ah. At least it looks good from this angle.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Can't see it's gone 50
It'll be
feet
much
past.
closer. Yeah. Go.
Nice roll, but just too
Great
much
roll.
juice.
Yeah, all good. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, you're a machine.
Ran out
Almost.
of gas.
All right, nice and friendly. One more hole to go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's solid. I mean, you've really sold that 3-wood to me. Can I have a go with it as well? And you had an amazing bounce.
Kick. That's a nice
Talk
kick.
about, you know, great shots and good bounces.
Thanks,
Can I have a go with that one?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
There it is.
Wow. Sounds different to mine.
Yeah. You probably middled it and I didn't.
No.
That's probably what it's meant to sound like.
I don't think so. No, it's nice. Different, but nice. I mean, working on the Fall and Belfast, obviously you said that these are life-changing moments, right?
Yep.
So now you're experiencing a bit of fame.
I
mean,
guess,
how
yeah. Well, that was
you-
more, the 50 Shades fame was very real.
Yeah.
And that really was an acceleration of like that idea of whatever fame is. And I didn't like it. I don't like it. I'm not someone who wants that. I know it comes to territory and all this sort of stuff, but that sort of like global scrutiny level of attention, I didn't sit well with me, to be honest. I didn't enjoy it, particularly as around the time we started 50 Shades was the exact time we started a family, you know. So having young kids and being followed around, I didn't enjoy that period, to be honest.
So how do you manage it then?
I just try to ignore it. It's just noise, isn't it? You just sort of try to block it out, and you can either choose to seek that out, that attention and that I don't know, whatever that is, that sort of zeitgeist sort of moment, or you can sort of focus on the things that matter in life, like your family and your friends and the people who have known you forever. And I sort of chose to do that.
Well, you're a very wholesome guy. I can imagine you just at home, just making some sourdough and pizza with the family. You like a nice, quiet, it's a bit sourdough pizza. Who doesn't?
Sourdough, if I said salad, I'm not sure I've ever made a salad.
A sourdough pizza, come on.
Yeah, no, okay,
What other base could it ever possibly be?
No,
You've
true.
only got one option there.
No, I love it.
So you love the kind of wholesomeness and kind of quiet side of life.
Yeah.
Speaking of home,
Yeah.
the Open
Yes.
will be at home.
We'll be at home.
How exciting is that, and what sort of impact do you think that will have to your town?
Well,
your
it's
home?
incredible. Like, you know, in 2019, I was away filming in Mexico at the time, so I couldn't get over for the Open at Portrush, and I was absolutely gutted about it. But
Especially with the winner you had.
Yeah, exactly. And we had
Yeah.
my family were over staying with me in Mexico at the time. We were in Cancun. And I was watching Shane win it on my iPad on the beach. Really great Wi-Fi on the beach at the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun. And shout out Ritz-Carlton. Like great Wi-Fi coverage on the beach. So I watched all that unfold, and I was like, it's not going to be another 70 years before it gets back to Portrush. I think even then people were talking about how successful and open it would be. So I didn't think it'd come back as quick as it has, but it's brilliant. I became a member of Portrush in November last year. So I'm in the middle of filming, but I have asked for a couple of days off.
I was going to
that
say,
week.
will we see you there?
I'm going to get there. Yeah, have to.
You are?
Have to get there. Yeah, have to.
Well, you've announced it, so
I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
we will see you there.
I'll come into the.
I mean, how cool would it be
come
if
into the
Shane won
Sky
again?
Zone or whatever, and the 100-yard challenge.
Yeah, please hit me up and we'll have you there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Where are you? I'm trying to remember. I
came off that, didn't I? I don't know
Are
why
you're
I'm
not
just on the.
flipping heck. That's the bank. Look
Where
at
am
that. Fairway,
Yes.
me to go first.
Oh, it is you to go
I'm
first.
60
yeah.
yards
Okay.
behind your 3-wood.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Do you think you'd make a good caddy?
I'd love to have been a caddy. Yeah.
Really?
For a
Do you
top
think
10
you'd be
player in
able
the
to
world.
add value or just to kind of be in the mix and...
I just think.
Here we go.
I think I'd be good at keeping them loose. You know. Okay, I'll be your caddy.
Okay. So I have to birdie the last.
Okay. Can't even find the flag. There it is. There. 137.
Okay. Talk to me.
I say
That's it.
that is playing
Yeah.
off the right a bit. It's certainly helping, but not in a huge way. I'd say that's playing 132.
Just okay. So just a little
I
bit
think for
shy.
you that's a 9.
Yeah.
There we go.
Smashed it.
Don't even need me. Look at that. Now, and I'd start it 2 yards right of the flag.
I love it.
Let it just drop in.
Absolutely love that. That's everything I had in mind.
Nice easy swing. Take it home.
All right.
Oh, she's done exactly
legs.
that. Oh, it's right at it.
Go.
Be good. Be the number. Shot.
Is that pin eye?
What? Yeah.
Pin eye?
I think you're a yard shy.
All right.
But
right,
we're
right.
going to say pin
It's
eye.
in the tap-in range, so we'll take it.
Yeah. Great shot.
Thank you. So, new clubs in the bag, relatively new?
Pretty new. Callaway have been pretty good to me, I've got to say. Yeah, I've got the Apex in there. You know, it's hard. Just when I'm feeling comfortable, you know, Callaway are like, hey, do you want to come in for a fitting? We're doing new Apex. I'm like, you know what?
I'll think about it.
I'll come in, of course, and hit a few into that in that amazing room they have. But no, I feel really comfortable with them. In fact, I was away recently and my clubs didn't come back. At Gatwick, my clubs didn't come through, which is obviously the perils of traveling with golf clubs.
Yep.
And I went to the range, so forgetting I didn't have clubs, and pulled a couple of old clubs I had around the house, and I hit them like dirt. Like it was really bad. I couldn't hit them, and I realized how comfortable I've become with these.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. What is it that you obviously hit down the ball a little bit? So I just assume that you like your irons and stuff. So what is it about an iron that you like? Do you like a bit of support and a bit of a cavity
I
back?
think I need a bit of help. Yeah. I mean,
hard
again, I
enough.
was over in Donegal a couple of years ago, and again, my clubs didn't arrive at Belfast City Airport, and I turned up at Rossapena, which is a great. I don't know if you've had the chance. It's got three of the best. I mean, the 3 top 50 courses in the world, I think, and. The Casey family own everything up there, and I had to play Frank Casey Jr. His blades. It's the first time I'd ever hit blades in my life. Yeah, and I didn't.
Have a look down this.
I didn't love the process.
Have a look down this.
I mean, no.
No.
I mean, you know what? I don't hate that, but
It's quite
I just
small
don't
head,
see
isn't
enough
it?
metal.
Meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see enough meat.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't want some massive big cavity,
No,
but
no,
like
no. You do need a bit of an in between, because if it's too thick, I think it's quite difficult to get through that sort of rough. Not that you'd ever hit it there, of course.
Sure.
But you kind of want that blend, don't you, between the two?
Of course, yeah.
You've got 98 yards from the pinnacle of this little mound, a great angle in, a little bit of hurt, playing 105 at least.
I think 105. That's for me.
Gap wedge?
Yeah, 54.
Okay, sandwich.
I
Cool.
think when I think. I get very excited if I have 100 yards because I know 54 is perfect.
All right.
So
Let's see
98
it.
will have to do.
That sounded mega. That came out like a
Jeez, that's.
rocket. I promise you that was 98 yards.
I think you're mucking about with that rangefinder.
No. Obviously, you've got the kind of 7 months away incoming.
Yeah,
I mean, any sort of upcoming projects?
6 months. Yeah. I start this Apple limited series called 12-12-12. Myself and Anthony Mackie. I'm excited about it. Actually, it's good. It'll be fun. It's really fun heist story.
Yeah.
So yeah, really scripts are really propulsive and energetic and fun, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and then shoot all being well, shoot the movie that I've co-written, and that'll take me to the end of the year, and then it's nice knowing that much in advance, and then next year I have a couple of things that could potentially happen, but the really exciting thing about what I do is that slight unknown of like, I could spend half of next year doing something that I haven't even read yet, you know what I mean? That's often the case, so I do find that quite exciting about it, you know.
Well, sounds like you're a busy man. You've got a
good.
2-part incoming?
I'd be delighted with a 2-putt. I mean, I'd probably be happy with a 3-putt from there, to be honest with you. I'd take the bogey.
You'll probably hole it now.
No, well. Inci gave me the wrong number there, you know. Absolutely rinsed. Good putt there.
Strength.
Great putt. Oh!
Right.
Lucky. Okay.
You've
All good.
conceal the deal.
Right.
And make your 4. Oh, Jamie, it's been an absolute treat.
Thanks, Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
That's a pleasure.
Should we grab a quick little drink?
Let's do it. 100%. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Well, you played pretty well there, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks. I played better than I was expecting.
What's your drink of choice? Diet Coke?
I should be right on brand. Of course, I like a Diet Coke, but after golf, I usually like a sort of a lager top after golf. I like a little bit of that fizz in.